Welcome to the Chairs Chat podcast. In this episode, we ran into a little bit of a glitch, an audio glitch in the beginning minute or so of this conversation. So I've taken that out. What you missed was Mercedes introducing Fekel Altimeaux, a member and volunteer of the Executive Committee and Precinct Committee man for Precinct number 205. Let's get started. Thanks.
But I was born and raised in Naples, Florida. So I am
I didn't know you were raised
I'm
in
a
Naples.
lifer,
Oh
girl.
my gosh,
Yes, ma'am.
wow.
I am a lifer.
I had no idea.
Graduated from Golden Gate High School when I was 18. You know, between 0 and 18, I was a little bit everywhere.
Okay.
Lived with my mom, and we were not allowed to watch TV on the weekday. So it was a lot of reading.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Good mom.
Oh, I crushed Harry Potter books, one a day for 5 days,
believe
just
that.
because I could, had
How
nothing
old
else
are
to
you?
do. How old was I?
How old are you now?
Oh, 25.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
25, born in 99.
Yeah. All right.
Here's my social security number too.
Yeah, no.
But I registered as a Republican when I was 16 just because our civics teacher just told us the importance of voting and registering to vote. So I'm a first generation American. My dad came here from Haiti. He started a drywall business. He grew up in Immokalee, tilling the fields.
Mm-hmm.
I met a woman literally last year, and she knew my dad back in '98. Wow. He worked as a car washer at his dealership, small little dealership in Golden Gate, and she's like, "You have his exact same energy." So growing up, I grew up entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
My dad went through bankruptcy. I understood the value of finances and what it's like to be a business owner in America, just starting and trying to get off the ground.
Yeah.
So I knew I was pro-business. I knew I was pro-private enterprise. And that's really how I operate. You know,
Okay.
everything I do with the REC, everything I do with my own personal business.
You've been,
It's
very helpful in that.
how do we progress? How do we keep moving forward? How do we think about operational excellence?
Yeah. Yeah.
So 18, I got kicked out of my dad's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hey.
So you said you lived with your mom and then you got kicked out of your dad's house. So did your mom and dad live together?
No, they
so
were
when
not
did they
together.
split up?
Complicated story. We
Okay.
won't get into it, but
That's all right.
we had a difference of opinion. Neither one of us was wrong. You know, an 18-year-old and his dad, you know, having a conflict. It's
Yeah, imagine that.
such a shocker. But you know, we are of same mind. Went to FSW from 18 to 20, got in and out with my AA. I couldn't afford to go to college. I wanted to transfer to UF. So into the workforce I went. Worked for a few construction companies, did a stint as an insurance adjuster in the Midwest. I was traveling, working hail claims.
Wow.
Hail and tornadoes, Chicago and Columbus.
Wow.
Interesting.
And through that was so fun, but it was what really transformed my life. I associated failing with being a failure. And whenever you try something new, it's consistent failure. You know, you're tripping,
Sure.
you're getting back up, you're
Yeah.
missing the
It takes time. There's learning curves.
and I wasn't able to make that association. So I'm 21, my car breaks down in Chicago. I'm renting a car. I crashed the rental car. Girl, I did not make as much money as I had hoped. You know, sure, the top line number looked great, but with so many expenses,
Yeah.
I came home and I felt like nothing was working.
Yeah.
I was in a really dark place for a while, and I knew I had to get out of it or the situation was not looking good. So I'm on X one day when X was still Twitter, and you know, I flipped a house. I partnered with a large flipper in Columbus, Ohio. Found him a nice property, made me a partner in the deal. I tried a cleaning business. I lost money on my first clean. So at this point, my hand's shaking. I'm like, what am I going to do? One success, one loss. And then I saw something on X that said how to make $100,000 a year hanging Christmas lights. I'm not going to lie. I said, there's no way I'm making $100,000 a year hanging Christmas lights.
Yeah.
But if I can bring brightness to somebody's holidays, maybe I can steal a piece of that happiness and use it for my own and use it to re-spark what's, you know, who I am. The goer, the getter, the doer. I got my first client, three turned to 10 turned to 20. This year, we're aiming for our biggest year. We have 4 full-time employees.
Wow.
Our big goal is 10 by January,
Okay.
especially with an increased Christmas season.
Mm-hmm. And what a great location, right? All the retirees that can't get on the ladder and climb their roofs and want really nice Listen, Brian will tell you, and it drives him crazy. Every holiday, I am all about pulling it all out, and it makes him absolutely nuts. And I'm terrible at it because it's a lot of work, right? To line everything up and nail it up and get it right.
Find the time to get it done.
Map
and
it out with all the extension cords.
Find the cojones to actually get up on the ladder and make the thing happen, you know? So
what's the name of the business?
Gulf Coast Holidays.
Okay,
Cool.
Gulf Coast
Right on.
Holidays. Very cool.
Yes. If we do as well as we think we're going to do this year, we're actually Florida-wide this season. We're hoping next year we can expand into Alabama, Georgia.
Wow.
And in that case, we are going to form the parent company, United Holidays, to see
Okay.
how far we can go nationally.
That's awesome.
This is a great location to start it. It's a luxury business, like you said.
Yeah.
One of our biggest lead bases is an older woman, older than 60, saying, can you get your butt over here? I don't want my husband to fall off the ladder.
Yeah,
Last year was the last time.
Yeah.
So through trial and errors, we just sort of found ourselves here.
Yeah. Okay.
Business owner, young Republican, and again, looking to do what I can for the REC.
Yeah. And I love that. That's why I'm glad to have you here.
Thanks for your patience. I know that was a lot to get out.
That's what I want. No, we want to know about
No,
these
that's a
things.
great business. I mean, that's brilliant.
It really is,
Yeah,
especially in this
especially here.
area.
Yeah.
It's such
And
a
it
great
makes
idea.
you feel fantastic. We're not
Yeah.
a stuffy company. People love to see our employees. Our employees love our customers. And you can't get mad hanging Christmas
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a question. You guys also
Unless your
supply
husband breaks
some of
his
the
neck.
lights and things like that?
Oh,
You-
it's full service.
That's
So they hire us. We source the material. They can either lease the material from us,
perfect.
or they could buy the material from us and have us install it, store it.
Yeah.
And then next year, we're a real big try before you buy company. We're not going to sign you into a multi-year contract. Let our work do the talking.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to work with us on a year after year basis because you see the value in what we do,
Yeah. Well, my biggest issue with what you were talking about a little bit ago with Christmas lights coming and Christmas lights and all that, storage. I mean, we have
Yeah.
boxes upon boxes and
Well, and that's why my new favorite thing is the blow ups.
mm-hmm.
Because he's
Yeah.
right. I used to have giant bins in the garage stacked up, two for each holiday, in all fairness. And then I would, and I'd have like these giant pumpkins. And now I just buy the blow up stuff. And then you just drop it into a little box. And, I used to have a snowman too. I had this incredible, beautiful snowman. I had him for like 10 years. And he was sparkly, but he was huge. I mean,
Lots of
he was
garage clutter.
massive. And even when you broke him down, it was still big. So yeah, the blow-ups are really nice, but the
that-
storage is a pain in the butt.
And that's something we've thought about offering, just one-off storage for homeowners, because we do meet these Christmas nuts whose entire garage is just all Christmas.
Yes.
And we understand inventory. I mean, we use Sortly to track all of our inventory, and we have 2 10x25 storage units.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Massive.
Yeah.
And you need them too.
I was gonna say for that business, I can imagine that you do need them because
how-
you've got all the stuff.
how can a person listening or watching this right now find your business? What's the website?
GulfCoastHolidays.com. Our brand new site is launching actually as of Monday.
Cool.
Call us 239-837-XMIS.
Hell yeah.
Dang, rolling it out, getting ready to go.
Yes.
I love it. All right, so you grew up in Naples. Dad was from Immokalee.
Haiti,
Family is
went
from
to
Haiti.
Immokalee.
Where's your mother from? She's just American?
She's Haitian too, so
Okay.
I'm like 1.5 generation. She
All right.
was here, first generation from Haiti.
And you speak Creole?
Creole is my first language.
Stop it.
I can no longer speak it. I spoke Creole from 0 to 5 only. That was my foundational language, and then they put me in American public school, told me to figure it out,
Yeah.
and because my dad's a contractor, when he's dealing with general contractors and his employees, he's speaking primarily English and Spanish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I bet.
So my Spanish is probably a little bit better than my Creole at this point. I can
Okay.
understand very well.
Mm-hmm.
Can't speak it to save my life.
Yeah.
Can you speak just a simple sentences so we can hear it?
Mpako ne kisa udilmoe.
Wow. And what did that mean?
I don't know what you're saying to me.
Is that what you're saying? I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know
to
what
me.
you're saying to me. Mpako ne kisa udilmoe.
That's like I did 2 years of French in high school, and
Very similar.
all I know is je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas and je m'appelle Mercedes.
And then
That's like all I know. I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know,
You
C,
fail.
Neef,
You fail.
Noof,
Yeah, no,
Knock.
seriously, F
Duh.
minus. Now
Yeah.
imagine when people see my last name, they haven't taken a French class, they're not LSU fans.
Mm-hmm.
You see the EAUX, and people just throw darts at a board. It's
Yeah.
Altamix, Altamax,
Oh, yeah, Altimeaux.
Altamux. Yeah,
Yeah.
So
It's Altimeaux.
Hilarious.
It's Altimeaux. So, okay, you talked a little bit about why you're Republican,
Mhm.
right? And so it's that entrepreneurial spirit that you think drew you to the party.
spirit, traditional values, and order.
Yeah, and order, right? Law and order,
Mhm.
right. I love that. And do you find that it's difficult as a young Republican or even a young Black Republican, if I can say that?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I know that I can, but I just don't want to bring it up. But I think it might be an interesting conversation to have, especially at 25, right?
Mhm.
Where your generation maybe is becoming a little more right wing, actually. I think the trad,
noticed.
yeah, the trad culture is definitely taking over. Like my son's grade level, they're all like, very right wing, or at least they think they are right now. They just know that they're not left wing, right?
Yes.
So what has it been like? Have you had pushback? Have you had trouble? Have you gotten punched in the face?
It is an interesting experience talking to people my age, especially knowing I was a Republican from so young.
Yeah,
And
16.
Hearing how left everybody is. I don't know how else to put that. I mean, they're Democrats, and I'll ask their perspective on certain issues, and they don't have accurate and concise answers.
Yeah.
What they have is what they've been fed. So it's a battle of, do I engage and try to inform them on the political correctness and what the actual reality of certain situations are. And I've had to learn patience and
Yeah.
pulling back and just removing myself. But you're right. I'm seeing a very large population of Gen Zs move towards the right.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a perspective shift.
Right.
So I'm glad to see it, and I'm here to sort of front run it.
Yeah.
Because again, Gen Z, we don't have to say that Gen Zs are lost.
Right. No.
We know that.
We were all in our early 20s at one point. I was never a registered Democrat, but I was a registered Republican, a registered independent, and I voted Democrat. And then when I hit my early 30s and Obama came around, I switched to Republican. But yeah, when you're at that age, first of all, you don't care about politics. And second, because it's all boring and staunchy and it's just not something of interest. But then, you are rebellious and you are trying to find your own
You're
way.
looking to dismantle the man.
And you're always just, yeah, exactly. So you don't want to go with the traditional side of things. But I think that when you get older, you obviously become more conservative. Children are a game changer. So you'll learn that. I mean, that's like, that takes it next level. But I think too, I remember when I first became a Republican in my early 30s, people would always say, and it's so true, liberalism, left-wing Democrats, everything is naysaying misery. Everything is, the sky is always falling. Whereas like Republicans, for the most part, always seem to see the upside of things, right? Like they're the entrepreneurs. They're chasing something. They love the family unit. They love family. They love their Lord. There just seems to be a more positive perspective about life in general when you're on the right versus the left.
I love that,
and that gets
message.
old, is my point. And I think the young people are realizing that. Like, I don't want to be miserable all the time.
And on that point, number one, I wanted to talk about meritocracy as well, but the sky is falling thing is like Gen Zs and just anybody sub 40 is so doom and gloom about the economy, the world, climate control, national disasters,
Everything.
And it's like, oh, the best is behind us. The best is behind us. And it's just a small perspective shift. What if the best is ahead of us?
Yeah.
What if the best is yet to come? And that's only going to happen if we're all trying to organize the best and seeing the potential for the future.
Right. Do you know, when I was in my late 20s, like so many people in my generation, I went through this whole like meditation, Buddhist phase. I grew up Catholic, but I was like, oh, it's too staunchy and I want to be enlightened. I'm spiritual, not religious. And I remember reading a passage, and this is obviously verbatim, but Buddha says, there will be racism and death and murder and
Always.
hatred,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to do about it?
Amen.
Right? And that's what
Mhm.
matters. Like, okay, so things are miserable. How are you going to change it moving forward? And when you put one foot in front of the other every day, how do you view the world and what are you going to do to change it? You can continue to be negative and naysay everything, or you can see the flip side of things. There's a flip side to almost everything, especially in America where we're so blessed and we live in safety and security, and we're just so, dare I say it, privileged. There is an upside to everything here, for the most part.
And my thing is, it's like you see the old lady who's having trouble crossing the road. The cars keep coming. And what people are doing, they're pointing at that old lady and saying, hey, that old lady's having trouble crossing the road. Instead of actually going across the road, stopping traffic and helping the old lady across the road.
Right.
And I think that goes into meritocracy. It's like, I was just talking to Grant about this. What are you doing?
Yeah.
To help the organization, whether it's the REC, whether it's my employees for my business, whether it's someone in a Rotary Club or some local association, instead of complaining about the outcome and how things are turning out, how are you contributing to it? And that's also something I'm noticing with the left and the youth of today is that everybody wants something, but they're not willing to give first in return to earn that thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we really need to return back to.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that is actually a Republican value, right? Like, what are you going to do about it? It is up to you, not the government, to educate your children, to fill the pothole, to do all the different things. We live in a different world now where the government has to do a lot of those things.
But at the same time, it seems like there has been like a relinquishment of self-agency.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I need somebody to do this for me. I need help. And I don't want to call it victimization, but
yeah, or is it just entitlement? And I should backtrack. I don't mean that the government has to do these things. It's just that we're so surrounded by people who have this mentality that it's someone else should do it for them. That's like someone was just telling me a story about how after Hurricane Ian, there was no stop sign. The stop sign had like fallen over and was like on the street. And at first he called the city and was like, hey, when are you going to put the stop sign back up? People are like flying through the intersection. And they're like, oh, well, we'll put you on we'll write a ticket up. We'll put you in as a ticket and we'll get to it when we get to it. And he said he waited months and months. And then finally he realized like, what? I'm just going to put the freaking stop sign up. So that's what he did. And then I think he said 2 months after that, the city rolled up and came to put the stop sign up. And you can't hate on the city because the city is doing 100 other things,
Yeah, I disagree. If that guy got caught putting the stop sign back up, he'd probably get a ticket and
yes,
get in
he
trouble for
would.
it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That guy fixes the pothole on the road. He gets in trouble for it now. That's the problem.
That's part of the problem for sure. But I think that goes back to the fact that we have relinquished so much of our duty as citizens that you have to create barriers. Even if they're strict barriers, that creates order.
Right.
So I hear you though. That's frustrating.
I'm very on your side of the ball though. You're going to be punished for it anyways, but it's for the good of the community.
Yeah.
So even if legally you were in the wrong, morally and as a human, like there is a just standpoint.
Yes, right.
So that's what I believe. It is, even if it creates order, is it for the benefit of everybody involved? And like you said, if they rolled up 2 months later, I got into an accident, and I think it was right off of Hanson Street in downtown Fort Myers because there was a missing stop sign.
Exactly.
That could have very well been that
you could
stop
have murdered
sign.
somebody.
I was in the car and I was the driver, and the car was totaled after the accident.
Wow.
So that's just one of those situations where, I mean, it's a toss up.
Yeah.
Are you going to follow the code, or are you going to follow what's right for the people?
Yeah. That's a very good point. All right, my dear, I want to talk a little bit about your next up Republican Club. Next Gen.
Cool. Next up.
So talk to us a little bit about that. So you are the president of the Next Up Republican Club, and it's kind of like a young Republicans club, but it has a very specific mission. So talk to us a little bit about that.
So there's a concise mission statement, and it's to connect future or prospective leaders with initiatives that help build community. I've seen through working in business development roles, I've seen working in hospitality roles in Southwest Florida, so much of the local economy is driven by some of our nonprofit organizations.
Mm-hmm.
It's not who you'd expect. It's not the RPOF or the LCREC. It's the Southwest Florida Apartment Association, the Florida Assisted Living Association. And by the way, these organizations have PACs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the goal is to get people who want to actually contribute to their community and the local economy in the places they need to be. Is your full-time job, you're a community manager at a condo tower in Pelican Bay and Naples?
Mm-hmm.
You're under 35. Are you a part of COMA? Are you a part of BOMA? Are you a part of any of these networking groups that may need help to help keep advancing the industry? Not
Right.
only that, but what giving organizations are you a part of? And I know so much of the youth, they want to give back. They don't know how to give back.
Yeah.
There has been no playbook written on how to transition into leader or become a leader.
Yeah.
You'll walk into a lot of these rooms and you're hard pressed to find somebody underneath 30.
Yes.
We find each other like glue. We're like magnets. We see the look in each other's eyes and we're like, we still have that twinkle. All right, we're friends now. And there is nobody to replace these people.
Yeah.
That goes for local Rotary. That goes for probably some of America's largest nonprofits and associations.
Mm-hmm.
And the pipeline needs to be filled.
Right.
So that's the goal of Next Up. It's to contribute to the community, help, give the Republican brand, not the facelift, but help contribute to what makes Republicans and continue to help build us a better brand image.
So tell everybody how they can get a hold of you or how they can learn more about
Perfect.
Next Up.
Feel free to reach me at chair@joinnextup.com. We should have a website going up here in the next month. Thank you for your patience. But for now, a direct email. You can also call my personal line, 239-414-7934.
Ooh, you're brave there.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
brave.
call me or text me. Nobody's hey, I take it all.
Okay.
My next opportunity will be somebody who has my personal phone number who wasn't able to access me by other means.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
you have to be bold. You have to put yourself out there, and you have to be ready for the mess ups and ready for the mob.
Yeah. Yeah. And in politics, there's always a mob.
There's always a mob.
There's always a mob. Okay. To wrap this up, you're an executive committee member.
Mm-hmm.
You've been a great supporter, a great volunteer. And so that's why I wanted to talk, I want to introduce you to the membership and the public and just highlight a few of the things that you've been able to do. So tell us about why you feel it's important to be an executive committee member and what you do for the executive committee and, any future plans that you have with the executive committee.
I'm looking to grow into the executive committee. I joined this year. I'm transitioning hopefully into the role as an operations lead to help systemize and get everything in order. I see, again, there's a lot of opportunity on this front with multiple organizations as well, but to just help bring them into the present.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from a sales organization background and just coming from, building my own business from an organizational and standard operating procedure perspective, helping the REC continue to systemize the processes that they have that no longer need to be manual.
Yeah.
And making sure that we can run smoother, raise money faster, and just come off as more professional to prospective donors and members.
Yeah, I love that.
With that,
It's going to be a huge help.
I'm calling it Fekel for Chair 2027. I'm here
I love
to
it.
make things happen. And
I love it.
for the betterment of the REC.
Yeah, love that. It's all about passion. It's all about being willing to step in and do what needs to be done. And it's all about
making it happen.
I was just about to say that, making it happen and problem solving, not being a problem or creating problems, but problem solving, right?
I have 6 life principles that I
Okay.
live by. 3 are personal, 3 are for business. If I'm going to do anything business-wise with my time, it has to meet 2 out of 3 criteria. Have fun or help people. That's one. Make deals happen and have fun.
Yeah.
That's
right,
it. If
right.
it meets 2 out of 3 of those things, we're going to do them. If they don't, then I'm not touching it.
On to the next.
All 3, I'm going like balls to the wall in
Yeah.
it. And that's how I feel about the REC. And then my business ones are do the dishes.
Yeah.
Do the dishes. You finish cooking, your tummy's full. You see the dishes. You don't want to do the dishes. You're going to go back to watch an American Horror Story. But those dishes are still going to be there for you tomorrow and the next day. And eventually you have flies. And then if you let it go for a week, you have maggots. But if you just did the dishes when you first saw them, they would get done. Speak directly, not around. Talk, me and you. If we need to squash a problem and come to a resolution, we're going to do it. We're not going to go on for weeks and dilly-dally and talk to other people. It's
Right.
me and you directly, and we're going to make this work.
Yeah.
And number 3 is be righteous in everything you do.
Yes.
Everything I do, I'm personally righteous. I do it because if I'm yelling at somebody, it's out of love, and it's because it's righteous, not out of malice. Because I don't know what you need, but I want to help you get to where you need to be. And you can't watch your 400-pound friend walk around and let them be 400 pounds.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So
You have an obligation, if you're their friend, to do something about it.
So those are the 6 core values I live by. That's what I leave everybody with. And, I just appreciate being here.
Okay. Well, we're just so glad that you're here. And thank you so much for being such a dedicated member and volunteer. Can't thank you enough, especially when you're like smacking us around a little bit and reminding us to stay focused.
Out of love.
Yeah. Minimize, compartmentalize the nonsense, and let's focus on fundraising and educating and building the party.
Let's win.
Let's win. That's the bottom line. Candidates and elections, baby. Candidates and elections. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you so much, Fekel. So appreciate you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mercedes.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of the Chairs Chat. And don't forget to visit us at www.leeGOP.org. That's where you will find our fundraisers, our events, as well as our business meetings. Again, that's www.leegop.org. Please subscribe, please share, please like, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode of the Chairs Chat.